Hello, it's Rafael Gutierrez, and sorry I haven't been keeping up on a lot of this. I've had a really busy and interesting couple weeks. But today what I'm actually going to talk about is strategy. And to really hit the idea of strategy, I went and talked to a friend of mine, Rudy, who teaches chess. Now, a lot of times people who don't know anything about martial arts or don't know anything about competition will tell you, oh, well, everyone has a plan until they get hit. And that might be true, but by having a plan and a backup plan and a backup plan of that, you actually can determine what's going to happen next. You may not choose to get hit, but you can have backup plans for when that event happens for you to be able to react. And that actually happens in a lot of martial arts. A lot of people don't realize that. I actually was talking to a gentleman who did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, where he was saying it was funny when he was a beginner. He thought, okay, you just learn a technique and you muscle through it. And he said afterwards he himself was learning chess because he said you see how much strategy goes into everything. Sometimes in chess it's great. The thing that Rudy ended up showing us is how in chess sometimes you can give up every valuable piece, but you do that for that one thing that you really want. You want the win, so that's what you're going for. You forget about everything else. And you give people small victories. And a lot of times if you watch MMA, you'll notice that the announcers will talk about how, oh, someone's just winning the fight, they're overwhelming. And then all of a sudden, it almost seems like it's when these fighters have already figured out how this person's going to fight, then boom, in one move, finishes it. A lot of people say, oh, well, it only happens when someone's that much better than someone else. But if you actually go, and I guess today I'm talking a lot about Eastern Bloc aspects, but if you look at Fedor Emelianenko and how he won against a lot of the UFC champions who had just retired, you see that a lot of times it looked like the other person had the advantage up until Fedor decided to win. And it can be dangerous as you are giving up certain things, but at the same time, if you know why you're giving things up, that's the important thing. So I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you understand what I'm trying to talk about. And if those of you who play chess, I hope some of you maybe actually understand the chess game he's talking about. So with that, I'll see you in a little.
Hello everybody, we are in the chess 64 Square Chess School at Point Loma, San Diego. This is a beautiful school and a chess club where we could meet and talk and discuss this game of chess as a beauty of the art of chess and develop your skills as far as playing, to be in competition with each other, being in excitement over the games and development and creating beautiful art. Of chess.
One of the things that when we were talking about it, about chess and how to win the game, one of the things you mentioned is when you're trying to win, you made one comment that everything's sacrificable except for the king.
Yes, that's correct. We can sacrifice almost any material for the sake of attack and checkmate for the king, which is the object of this game.
Right, and like I said, it's a strategy. Especially me, when I first came in, I tried to save all my pieces without realizing that you have to give something up to get what you're really after. And you showed a really great game. If you don't mind showing it again.
Yes, as we see, material is very important in the chess game, but it's not also the material, but it's also we can see beauty in the sacrifice of the pieces. Let's see a game which was played somewhere in the 18th century in the Philidor defense, when bishop and knight comes to attack the king, and a move a6, and the knight comes to c3, bishop comes to g4. This unexpectedly knight decide to take on d4 to sacrifice queen on e1, which is very unexpected, and for beginners it's very unusual that queen becomes sacrificed right away. The bishop would take on a d1, bishop can take on f7 check, and king have only one position to e7, and knight comes to d5 checkmate. So it's a beautiful game. It's written also in the chess books, and I saw it first time when I was very young man. about 15, 16 years old when I play in tournament. It happens that I play a similar situation, similar position, and won my opponent. Yes.
Yeah, it's a really quick and amazing,
Yes.
especially when you notice how the sacrifice you make on one side really sets everything up for the other. It's one of the things that you were mentioning is how sometimes you have to sacrifice one piece, actually sometimes even a great piece like the queen on that game to get the desired result, which was a king.
Desired result is to put in a checkmate.
Yeah.
As we see in the chess, some people have tendency to develop more and more information by reading books, but it's become very, very confusing because book itself might show certain patterns which might be not so close to actually position on a play. So it's not always to become a good reader or good understanding position, but also to develop skills to analyze in most capacity, to understand position in most combinative ways. So that's the beauty of the art, when you can find our own unique and the best results by playing this game.
That's actually kind of joins in everything, it seems.
But game itself can be very peaceful and very balanced and not very competitive. It only depends who is more either skillful or who is more lucky in a game to outwit your opponent. So sometimes it comes with luck, sometimes and most of the time comes with the skills. So the more we play, the more we actually develop the skills.
Well, thanks a lot. And then your address again is 3045 Rosecrans.
That's correct. 3045 Rosecrans and Suite 210 in Point Loma location. And welcome everybody to join the Chess School and Club.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. You're welcome.